Got that. All right, fine folks. Good morning. Today is Friday, the last Friday of October 28th, 2022, and this is your Friday safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. The safety department is located in the Z building, southernmost part of this main campus here. We're on the ground level, so if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to stop by. We never promise that we'll have the answers to every question, but we can point you in the right direction and get folks that can answer your question or address your issues for you. We do this Friday safety meeting every Friday morning. We're going to do it 52 times in 2022. Even the Friday after Thanksgiving, a couple of us will be here with probably 2 or 3 of our closest friends broadcasting live for you. We are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, so thank you to the folks that are tuned in live. Please click like and subscribe. Follow us so you can get alerts anytime we have content that comes up on social media. We are here in Springfield, Missouri. Our folks that are over here in our awesome cafe are busy. Man, that line is booming over there. So let's give those folks a round of applause for feeding all of us hungry trucking folks. Me and Dave will be over there in line getting our food a little bit later on. You know, we get free breakfast too. So, but we also broadcast live at our other terminals too, Salt Lake City and Pittston. So let's go east first. I think we got Rick with us this morning. Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Hey, good morning. What a week we had this week. And a nice week, nice weather. Great orientation class, and we even had a little party in the beginning of the week.
Tell us a little bit about the party.
Oh, a party! You know, we had a little party for everybody that had 10 years or more, and we had quite a few people that got 10-year awards. We had a couple get some 15-year awards, and we even had one that had a 35-year award. June Powell, she's in our payroll department.
Oh, buddy, June Powell in our payroll department. She's been there 35 years, you know, and I got to spend a little bit of time with folks in Pittston last week, and June Powell was one of them. And it still amazes me that, you know, she's been at the company for 35 years. I'm not too much older than 35 years old, yet she looks younger than me. It makes me extremely jealous. So, you know, during COVID, we had to suspend all of those culture events, and now that we're post-COVID, I hope, you know, we are back in full swing having those culture events. You know, they had their 10-year dinner. 2023, we're going to have 3 million-mile dinners, you know, Pittston, Salt Lake, and Springfield. So we're really excited about getting back into the swing of things, getting to see our folks, getting to celebrate our people and their accomplishments. So thank you guys, Rick, last week for being phenomenal hosts. I had a great time there. You guys took me out to eat. I ate way too much. I was miserable in the hotel room all night, but you know, I survived.
You know, we appreciate you coming up and seeing us, and you know, we had a great time up here also. And you know, I just want to say, you know, that 10-year dinner is just not for in-house folks, and I just want all of our drivers to know that, you know, and it's that 10-year dinner includes all you guys too. So you know, think about that.
Hey, Rick, did you have a lot of drivers in that up there?
We did have a couple drivers that were in that 10-year class. So yeah, we had a few.
Well, good deal. As always, man, we appreciate you guys being here. Special shout out to Bill and Lisa there to your right. Always good to see those folks. And of course, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Hey, you guys are awesome. Thanks.
All right, let's go west. I think we got Troy in Salt Lake City. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning. How's everybody in Springfield, Missouri?
We are doing fantastic. I think we had some comments the last few weeks about how empty your stage was behind you. You see ours is plentiful, and it looks like you guys have kind of stepped your game up and got some decorations for the season. How you guys doing out there in Salt Lake?
It's fantastic out here. It was 31 this morning and beautiful. You know,
it's that time of year out here, and it's we've had snow a few times already. It's come and gone, and just got to get ready for that. That's when you're in Utah. It's you never know when it's going to hit you.
It's ironic that every year about this time, winter comes. It's amazing that the seasons know exactly when to change.
And you know something about that? This past week, we saw pictures from New Mexico, snow on the highways. So even as far south as New Mexico, it's already hit.
It is here, so don't delay. Tell me about something new and interesting going on in Salt Lake City.
We also, last week, we had our 10-year dinner last week also. We had some, bunch of drivers. We had some 25-year drivers, 15-year drivers, 10-year drivers that were there. A bunch of in-house people that have been here, 10 plus, 15 plus years now. And so, it's one of those places that you get and you realize the quality of the company you're working for, and you want to stick around. So, to all of our new students that are here this week, they're seeing that, and they're seeing, we've got a whole bunch of drivers here today that are, also experienced drivers that they're seeing, what we are, and they're kind of going, hey, I think I want to hang out with these guys. So it's kind of good.
Well, good deal. Hey, there's a comment about Prime. Either you love it or you hate it. We're really not a middle of the road type company. We're not middle of the road type people. Typically if it's not a company for you, and it's not for everybody, both from a driver aspect and from a in-house associate aspect, you typically, move on to your next opportunity pretty quick. 2 years or less. But for folks that are buy into the culture, that this is the place for them, we get those 25-year folks, and this is where they want to be for the long term. So how long have you been here, Troy?
Just went past 18 years.
Good deal. Good 18 years, I hope. We're glad to have you here. In a couple years, we'll be handing you a plaque in celebration of 20 years here at Prime, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not going anywhere unless, I do something wrong, but I'm not going anywhere. It's a great company, and I'm proud to represent Prime.
A couple of weeks ago, you told some jokes. We were having some conversations about making some changes, but we kept you in the game, and we appreciate you.
Those are good.
Of course,
they weren't my jokes. Okay. They weren't my jokes. I passed those along to you.
Hey, sometimes a messenger, gets the cash. So, hey, appreciate you being on. Appreciate you representing us well for the last 18 years. If you will, just make sure that if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to step to the microphone.
Will do. Thank you.
All right back here, Springfield, Missouri. Good morning, folks. How are you? I'm not sure what the occasion is, but the house is absolutely packed this morning. We've got some good vibes going, some good energy going. So, of course, I want to take this opportunity to say to our brand new folks and at all three of our locations, I know you're spotted around with the neon vest on. Please stand and give us an opportunity to welcome you properly to the Prime family. Come on, stand on up. There you go. There you go. Yeah. My man over here is excited. Welcome to Prime. All right, now y'all can sit down. Welcome to Prime, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being here. We love you. We need you. We did some extensive homework in making sure that you were a good fit, and vice versa. With the driving record and work history that you guys have, you guys probably had a ton of different options of companies to go to. You're the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, and plenty of trucking companies are out there looking for you specifically. But we're glad you chose Prime, and we're glad that you're here with us today. So also to our veteran drivers, our folks that have been here for a long time, I'll just say welcome home. Hopefully you are here with us to celebrate something. Maybe to get some maintenance done on your equipment. Hopefully while you're here, you can speak with your fleet manager if they're working out of Springfield. Tell them how much you miss them. Tell them how much more freight and how much more revenue you need going into your bank account, right?
Or free breakfast.
and a free breakfast. So, hey, with me this morning, I've got David White. Dave also works in our safety department as one of our safety supervisors. Good morning, Dave. What you got for us?
Morning, Des. Doing good. And I'd like to extend that welcome to all of our new associates in here. Glad to have you. Glad that you're part of our family. And we are a big family. There's no doubt. We have over 9,000 drivers, over 7,000 trucks. We are extremely proud of every one of you. And hopefully you feel that family atmosphere here. We are very open, very transparent. You can see here this morning, you'll be able to ask questions, any type of questions you want, and we'll do our best to answer them. Not going to say we know everything because we don't, but we are pretty good. And this company is run by Robert Lowe, our owner, and he believes in all this. And hopefully he'll be down here a little bit later as well to close out our meeting. Matter of fact, he's walking through the door right now. So morning, Robert. All right. So we're very proud of our folks here. We've got a great management staff, top notch, no doubt about it. And it trickles on down from there. And, I'm very privileged to be able to host these meetings with Dennis and Steve, pretty much every Friday, like Dennis said. And you're always welcome. If you have questions, make sure you ask them. And for those of you going out with trainers and all that, just a couple words of advice, make sure you listen. Like my father told me when I was younger, God gave you 2 ears for a reason, and that's to listen, and 1 mouth. And so remember that. And, we got excellent trainers here at Prime. If you have questions, make sure you ask. If you don't feel that's the right answer, give us a call in safety, talk to your fleet manager. Fleet managers here are extremely important. They're your business partners. And not only that, many of them will be your friends too as well. And Dennis spent 15 years being a fleet manager before we were able to pry him out of that role. And luckily we were able to get him. And he's been a great addition to our safety department. And he brings that experience over, which really helps us in safety because we all got to work together. And that's what it is here at Prime. We work together. We work with our road assist department. We work with our payroll. We work with everyone, recruiting. And that's what you need to do too as well. Remember that and work with all those people. Make sure you know them. Make sure you know your road assist advisor. You know your payroll person. You know your log person. And go up and meet them when you're here on site, or if you're at a different terminal and they're working out there, go see them. If they're on site, man, they'd love to meet you and talk to you. And that's what it's about, those relationships. And that's what make you feel more comfortable, more part of the family. And that's what we're here for. So welcome aboard, everybody.
As you talk about me transitioning from the being a fleet manager to the safety department, one of my biggest things as a fleet manager was I like to take ownership. Anything that's going on with somebody that's on my fleet, whether it's mechanical, payroll, revenue, whatever it is, I want to be involved in the midst. If they're talking to the leasing department about something, I want to be involved too. At the end of the day, my thing was the buck stopped with me. I took personal accountability for everything you did and everything you needed. So, and our fleet managers that we have now are no different. They're just the same. If you got an issue, that's where you start. They want to hear from you. The building is wide open. We don't have a bunch of silos and offices. And hey, man, you can walk right up and talk to basically whoever you want.
Definitely, most doubt. And then that's for every department here. So yeah, during the day, feel free. You can walk around wherever you want. There's a lot of trucking companies you can't do that at, but we're not one of those. We're different, and that's how we separate ourselves between how we operate and what we believe in here at Prime 2. And you're all family, so welcome, and it's great to have you all.
Excellent. So we've got a ton of folks that are here live at each of our locations. We got some folks watching, via Facebook Live and YouTube. We got some folks that are using this as research, as a potential company to work for. We've got customers that are probably tuned in and kind of get a firsthand view of what we do from a culture standpoint. We probably got some enemies out there that are looking for some dirt to drag on us later on too.
Or maybe some information to steal and use themselves.
There you go. We've gotten information that some other companies are trying to replicate this, and good for them. When it comes to safety, we are in no competition with anybody. A safe driver at any one of our competitors, we appreciate them just as much because it looks great for the industry as a whole. So, hey, everybody that's watching, welcome. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. Dave, let's talk a little bit about safety. We had a fantastic week from an inspection standpoint. What do we get?
Big numbers, Dennis. We had 189 inspections. That's one of our highest in a long time. 133 of those were clean, so 70% clean rate.
Yes.
Give yourself a round of applause. Awesome. Even more impressive, Dennis, last week our payout, $11,050 for 1 week on clean inspections. That's the highest dollar amount we've had in over 2 years for inspections. So great job. Hopefully this week will be even bigger because we've got more clean inspections. So
there you go. Give yourselves a round of applause.
wow.
Great job, phenomenal job. You know, we had a good week accident wise. We don't have a bunch of DOT recordables or severe accidents to talk about. You know, we do have accidents. We're going to see backing situations. We're going to see hitting parked vehicles and customers' lots or truck stop lots. These things are going to happen. Next week, we're going to run a series on what to do on if somebody hits you, and then what to do if somebody if you hit somebody. We want to make sure that you're protected all the way and get you taken care of. We're also going to have some information about what to do in case of a cargo claim. So that's a little bit of foreshadowing for next week's meeting, Dave.
There you go. One thing we have seen an uptick on, and it continues to go up, though, is our deer hits, animal hits out there on the highway. Deer running. So just like I said last week, if one pops out in front of you, we don't want you running off under the shoulder, swerving to miss it. Just end up hitting a deer. We'll take care of the damage on your truck. You'll be okay and move on from there. You know, hard brakes even too, just not worth it. But this is the time of year, though, you're driving late afternoon, early evening, even morning time as well. Deer are out running. So keep your eyes open when you're scanning down that road, 12 to 15 seconds. If you see one standing on the shoulder, start slowing down because there's probably more with it as well. And that's just the year we're in. And October, November are our highest months for deer hits. So they're running. We had 3 or 4 overnight that our drivers hit. Now, that's fine. Once again, we'll take care of the damage. We'll go from there. And that's what we want. So no serious accidents on those so far. And hopefully it stays that way the rest of the year, no doubt.
Absolutely. So before we move into our speakers, I just want to say one thing, especially to you new folks that are just getting into the PSD program, or even maybe you're here to upgrade. There's no shame in getting a little bit more experience during these winter months. You know, some folks, conventional wisdom may tell you, hey, this is a horrible time to come in the truck, and I'm just going to get right in the truck. And then here, like Dave said, even yesterday, as of this week, you know, there's snow on the ground. I want to learn why there's, you know, sunny and 65, and there'll be situations where that happens, but you know, there are going to be opportunities for you to get your, you know, proverbial feet wet into the winter driving game. And the coaching that we give, you know, starting a couple of years ago was, you know, the first thing we want you to do in winter weather situations is consider not driving. You know, crazy to believe that a trucking company is going to tell you to consider not driving, but you know, if you be logical, you know, any weather situation, especially winter storms, they don't come to stay. You know, they move across a weather system, and operating during the worst part of the beast of the storm, there's no reward in that. There's no trophy at the end. There's no additional revenue. In fact, the place may be closed when you get there because they told their associates to stay at home because of the weather. So we want you to consider not driving. Of course, make sure that you're communicating properly with your fleet manager. I know that's kind of a theme of this meeting, but you know, communicate with your fleet manager. Typically, in any weather situation, 2, 3, 4, even if you have to end up taking another 10-hour break, the roads will be much different. You allow Mother Nature to take its course. You allow those local jurisdictions to deploy their snow plows, treat their roads. You allow the other traffic kind of to clear the way for you, and just the whole peril is almost gone, you know, just a few hours later. So of course, make sure that we're communicating with our fleet manager, and we'll be okay. We want you to arrive safely. Our customers want you to arrive safely. You know, the first thing that these folks ask when we do report a situation is your driver okay? And that's really important to us from a customer standpoint, but they also want their product delivered the way as promised. So
that's right, in one piece. And that's what they pay us for, is to deliver it there safely and securely and get their product there. You know, you'll see drivers out there on the highway, no doubt, when the weather starts getting bad, they'll continue going down the road, hammering down, whatever. Just remember, you know, you all got different experience levels. I got Thomas Miller sitting back here. He's a 3+ million mile safe driver. I wouldn't mind riding with him in a truck. You know, it's snowing out. as long as he's comfortable in driving because he's done it before. But then some of you that maybe less than a year, maybe you never experienced winter, you're going to be different. You're going to, hey, snowflakes start flying. You're going to look for a place to park, and that's fine. You know, everybody has their own ability, and that's something to remember. You drive your truck to your ability, and don't worry about the other people out there. You know, they'll take care of themselves. So, you know, remember that when you're out there. If you got your trainer in the truck, you're not comfortable with the conditions, it's getting bad, and they're in the back sleeping, getting a little cat nap, wake them up. Say, hey, you know, the conditions are getting a little dicey out here. I'm not feeling comfortable. I'm going to look for the next pull off, get off, and can you take over, or can we do something? Maybe we stop for a while. That's fine too. You know, just once again, like Dennis said, communicate with your fleet manager so you can get with the customer. At the end of the day, we want you to arrive at the location, at the receiver all in one piece and the product all in one piece, and we're all good. We'll be fine. We'll take it from there. So.
Hey, I think me and you've been jib-jabbering for a long time.
And we have been hammering it down. Having about 23 minutes, Dennis.
All right, so hey, let's get to the speakers. You know, we're going to shift gears just a little bit. You know, October, November is open enrollment time for all of our associates. So we asked Brandon Mallard from our Human Resources Department to come and give you an update on exactly what you need to do to make sure that you're covered.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning. Just here to make a couple announcements. Once again, it is open enrollment for company drivers. That will run through November 11th. Luckily, this year it is a passive enrollment, so you are not forced to go through enrollment. If you do like the benefits you have and you don't do anything, they will roll over to next year. So nothing to worry about there. I still do recommend at least going out there, taking a look and making sure that everything is the way you like it. Check your beneficiaries on your life insurances. This is also a time that if you want to get into the 401k or change a percentage, you can do that as well. You know, you can do that online or contact the enrollment center to go through the enrollment. Starting next week, if you are here in Springfield, we will have an on-site enroller here. She'll be located down here in the cafeteria, so you can definitely meet with her. If you happen to be on site next week, Friday, we will have the benefits fair. So you can come meet some of our vendors, chat with us, and, you know, we can kind of go over your benefits there as well. Independent contractors, November 1st is when your open enrollment is going to start for medical. So you can definitely review your plans at that time as well, and that will run through January 15th. So if you that's through enrollment first. Dave Brill is off today, but Thursdays and Fridays, he is usually down here to help assist you with that as well, independent contractors. If you want to meet with me or anybody in the HR department, we're up here right before you get to the Z building on the left-hand side in the hallway. Feel free to give me a call, swing by. I'm more than happy to help. Does anybody have any questions for me before I hand the mic back? Nope. All right. Thank you guys very much.
All right, thank you, Brandon. You know, end of October, something special is coming up. What we got going on Monday?
We got Halloween, man, right here. This is what's about Monday. It's Halloween. You do Halloween?
So
you go trick or treating?
I do Halloween. You know, we got a big celebration going on at our house on Monday night. You know, part of the culture of this company on Monday, the kids are going to be dressed up and going around to the different departments and trick or treating. And, you know, it's so exciting to have that. But that's actually not what I was talking about.
Maybe driver advisory board.
Driver advisory board is going to be on Monday. So DAB, it's an acronym for driver advisory board. Do we have any current or past driver advisory board members here with us? Come on up here. We're going to introduce you guys. Come on up here. Come on.
Buddy,
Yeah.
come on up, buddy.
Come on up. Now he's like, man, I shouldn't have raised my hand. Come on up. Yeah, good job.
It's
Good
okay.
job.
That's good. The more the merrier.
More the merrier. Come on up. We only got an hour, guys. Let's go. Let's get it moving. Good deal. All right. So putting you guys on the spot here real quick. So we're going to start, you know, raise your hand if you're past driver advisory board. All right. So you guys stay over there. You come back over here. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're going to give you just a quick opportunity to tell us who you are, how long you've been here, and then we're going to give it to the current guys. All right.
I'm Charles Smith. I'm in the reefer division. I've been here at Prime 6 years, and I was on the driver advisory board for 3 years.
Thomas Miller, Reefer Division. I've been with Prime for 23 years, and I was on the board with Charles for 3 years.
All right, excellent. So we really appreciate you guys' service. You know, you served your couple years and then they kicked you off, right? All right, so we got to get some new blood in. We got 4 folks here that are on our current driver advisory board. So we're going to give you guys the opportunity to introduce yourselves and tell us, you know, about your experience so far in the driver advisory board.
So far, it's been good. My name is Don Cook, Reefer Division. Been here 15 years. Been on the driver's team for what, 7 years, I think, something like that, since I've been here. But I like this drivers having their opinion because Robert sits right there and listens, and he's right there, and we can ask him questions point blank, and he gives us the answers right then. So you guys have them. Put your questions down in that thing, and we'll bring them up as much as possible on there.
Buddy Gray, I've been here going on 14 years. Been on the driver's advisory about 9 months now, but it's not much to say. He said it all. But if you got a question, bring it up. If you don't ask, we can't fix it. And like Donald said, Robert gets to hear it and he'll voice his opinion. So that's all I can say. There you go.
Chris Shellman, I've been here 10 years, put in the driver advisory board about a year ago. Pretty much it.
Ray Ward, Reefer Division. I trained here in 2017, came back 2020. Been on the driver advisory board 9 months with these two right here. Like they said, we're here to serve you guys. We can't fix anything if you don't talk to us. So definitely use Ask Deb that you can find in your Prime app, or if you see us out and about, because we are drivers as well. Please talk to us and let us help. All right, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So, you know, don't go too far with the microphone. So somebody's going to have to step up and be the spokesperson. You know, talk to me a little bit about some of the most frequently asked questions of the driver advisory board. And before you ask, no, we're not turning the trucks up to 75. All right, so let's just get that out of the way right now. And then let's just go with the second most frequently asked question. Who wants to step up?
Go ahead, buddy.
There's a whole bunch of questions they've always asked. One is
What's the term code for Pittston?
PRIPIT.
But that's the most.
Is it? I've never, I guess, yeah. I mean, some of the questions, yes, are related to drivers. Some are not. We try to answer all of them. If we can't get it, we'll get you an answer somehow. Whether we direct you to the department you're asking the question on, to safety, payroll, you know, whatever, technology. One of, like he says, one of the other questions, oh, they're going to turn the truck up. No, that's never going to happen. Everybody's tried.
All right.
Hey, Dennis, how about getting Thomas or Charles involved here? They've been on it. They're still involved in it here and there. I see their comments. What do you guys, what's the biggest part of DAB? What's the most important? Why do you guys stay involved in it? You two.
Well, we stay involved because, I mean, Charles and I, we actually stayed on a year longer than what most people do. The DAB's usually a 2-year term. We were on during the middle of COVID, so that we were asked to stay an extra year because, well, there wasn't a whole lot of new people coming in and we were already well versed. But we stick around to help these guys out, you know, because basically everything that they're seeing, we've already dealt with, you know, and so it's always nice for, you know, Ray to be able to call me and go, hey, I got a guy asking me this. What do you think? But one of the things I want to tell all the drivers, though, is first and foremost, the DAB is most definitely not a replacement for your fleet manager. Your fleet manager will always be your number one go-to source for things. You know, if you can't get a hold of them or something like that, absolutely, you can ask us a question. If we know, we'll let you know. But, you know, you're going to, when you ask us, that's going to be our answer a lot of times is, hey, get with your fleet manager. They can explain that to you. So just remember that guy sitting up there in the office, they're your number one go-to source for pretty much everything.
Go ahead, Charles. You got anything to add?
I would echo a lot of what Thomas has to say, but you know, you asked why we continue to keep doing it. Thomas and I both, I think we just believe in helping our fellow drivers, passing on what we've learned, giving back to a company that has given us so much. And to the drivers out there, you know, there's a lot of friends out here, just here in the crowd today, and there's people watching. You know, we're here to help you. We work for Robert, and then we drive freight, but we're not getting secret answers from him saying, here's how you need to answer these questions. Because guess what? We sometimes disagree. We frequently disagree. But we come to management, we come to Robert, in a respectful way, and we're able to affect change, and we're able to get answers for you that you can understand. These guys who are currently on the board, they want to help. These guys are really amazing. They've really stepped up, especially as all these transitions have changed, as we've tried to come back to the Prime culture and say, hey, here is what Prime is really about. A lot of people missed that over the period of 2 years, and they're trying to reinvigorate that, just as we're starting to have the events come back, and we're doing all of those things again.
That's awesome. What are some changes that have come about because of DAB?
Oh, well, our most famous one
There you go.
is the ping pong tables. Oh my gosh, we got ping pong tables. Yes, and Emily, we know Emily Plummer's watching, so we want to. There are several things a lot of the app changes have come as a result of that. Just some of the quality of life things, little things that we see have come up. Oh gosh, there's just so many. Thomas, you take it.
Well, just one, and since he's standing up there staring at me, I'll go ahead and do it. Me and Mr. Bill had a 2-year ongoing, very passionate dialogue. Is that a good way to put it, Bill? Very passionate dialogue about the long-term parking situation for drivers. And as a result, there were a lot of changes that was done to long-term parking. We gained the huge long-term parking out of Prime East. We've got some motorcycle parking spots now. Out there at Prime East, there are several spots that you can actually park your truck and your car and just swap them out when you come into town. Yeah, the transfer stations, the transfer station up here where you can just swap your stuff over from one truck to another without having to get up and down a dozen times. But the parking thing was something that I tackled early on. Like I said, Bill and I, we had a few disagreements about it, but we were able to work it out over the next couple of years to where we were both satisfied with what ended up happening. And as a result, we have plenty of long-term parking now. So, I mean, it's just, sometimes it takes a few minutes, sometimes it takes a few years, but we get it done.
All right, so this is a safety meeting, so I want to make sure we address some safety concerns out there, and I'm going to pick on Don here. We're coming into the winter, all right, and I know you've done a little bit of training, give some of these new folks, whether they're an A seat or whether they're a D seat, some advice about going into the winter weather season.
One of my biggest advices is if it's snowing and you're not comfortable, like they were saying earlier, hey, if a company wants that load today, they're really going to want it tomorrow. So, I mean, if you got to wait on it, you got to wait on it. And as long as it's still standing up in your trailer and it's not dumped over and your reefer's still running and it stays good, don't worry about it. They'll really want it when you show up with it. They'll be, in fact, a lot of times they're real happy they even come out and open your doors for you. They want it so much. So, Don Lacey, Don Lacey's, yeah.
Too hot to sit in the ditch.
Yeah, that it won't cool off in the ditch. That's a true one too. Yeah, that's a good one. But that chaining and stuff, if you have to chain, it's almost not worth trying to drive it. You tear your chains up, and then too many other guys that think they can fly by usually end up hitting you, and you end up getting in there because you're doing your little 25, 30, and they want to go by you at 40 miles an hour, and they wipe you out, or they wipe out in front of you. If you got to park for a few minutes, park it. It ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you to pass the mic, buddy. We've been giving this coaching advice the last couple of years. First thing we want you to consider, in a winter weather situation is not driving. Kind of what's your perspective as you start, you see that there's weather, you're planning your trip, you're communicating with your fleet manager. What's your thought process as you go through?
Very true. Yeah. There's times I've stopped. I've been out here 17 years now. Winter is one of our hardest times to drive, especially for your new ones coming out. You're going to see a totally different experience on the road. One of the things that I've always been taught over the years is if you're uncomfortable, pull it over and park. Yeah, it is. There's a big difference. You're going to see a difference from a car to a truck. Safety wise, your best bet is pull over, park, find a safe place to park, communicate with dispatch, let them know. Because if you just pull over and park and don't say nothing, you're basically getting yourself in trouble. But so long as you communicate with your dispatcher so they can go to sales, whatever process they got to go through, change appointment time, reschedule, this way you're safe. You're the captain of that ship. But overall, pull over to be safe.
There you go. Hey, we appreciate you guys coming up. You know, like I said, you guys didn't know you were coming up. We kind of pulled a fast one on you here. So we appreciate what you do. We're looking forward to presenting you guys with some information on Monday. You got some,
Yeah, I was just going to ask any questions for him. Anybody have any questions out here? Oh, somebody, there we go. Got a gentleman over here.
While he comes up, somebody real quick, tell me about Ask Dab and how to get to
He's
it.
like, no, I'm back.
Okay. So
Oh, okay. We're good.
Dennis wanted me to touch on your Ask Dab. It's on your app. It's under my Prime on the app. Just go down through there. You'll see it'll say Ask Dab. There's also a function once you get on it, you can either present your question to the Dab or you can actually present it to Prime where an in-house personnel will see it. It's actually Trish Brewer that answers those questions. So, I mean, if you don't think it's something a Dab can handle, and sometimes if it's something that we don't know, we'll flip that over to Prime so that they can answer it. One last thing, I just asked Mitch, in the next 6 months, they're going to be asking for new DAB members to come on board. Be watching your app and your messages for that and stuff like that. I highly encourage anybody that wants to get involved and try to help make things better for not only drivers, but for Prime as well, to please jump in there, apply, and come and join us and do what you can.
Good information. And you don't have to be a million-mile safe driver to get on the board. You could be 1 year, 2 years, and our drivers at that area, that's great. They provide great information too, just as well as you million-mile guys. So
yeah, they look for varying demographics, brand new drivers, some seasoned drivers. Each of our divisions, flatbed, tanker, reefer, intermodal. We some folks that are tanker that are local. We want folks that are teaming, that are training. We want all aspects to get represented. So hey, let's give these guys a round of applause. Appreciate what you do. Looking forward to working with you on Driver Advisory Board starting on Monday. So,
what do you got next here, Dennis?
I mean, I think that went really well.
It did.
It was good fun talking.
Well, not only that, they talk about Robert being there, but also all the managers from the departments. You'll be there, Stan, Bill, all road assist, you name it, because that's what Robert looks to. Is you guys answer questions, you know what I mean? And that's what it's about.
A pretty cool thing about, just that driver advisory board, or even just a normal Friday morning, we got, division heads on everything. I see Von Wheeler hiding over there in the corner. We're not going to ask you to speak. It's okay.
We won't go to tanker this today. You're okay.
We've got the guys that are in charge of our training program, in charge of security. We got the HR director here. So guys, if you have any questions, these folks are here readily available to address whatever concerns that you have.
There you go. What do you got?
All right. Next, I'm going to ask Dee Silva to come up. I know she came up last week, and I was able to watch her on the TV and she looked fantastic. And we're going to have Amy Hess come up and talk with her about eye care.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Pittston, Salt Lake. We see you up there. I have with me Brooke Mertes, Andrea Wall, and Amy Hess. You guys, last week we brought to you information about the Harmony House Eye Care campaign. Today is the day where we're going to be going around all day until we run out of buttons and stickers for your eye patches. Handing them out, guys. We're asking for your donations. Harmony House has a 150-bed facility where they house men, women, and children who are victims of domestic violence. If you watched last week, I told you a little bit about my story. My mother was a victim of domestic violence, and I vowed from watching that it would never happen to me until it did. My husband, my first husband, the father of my children, put his hands on me and disfigured my face. That was the last time that ever happened, and it will never happen to me again. And so what I would want to say to you is Harmony House is doing a great deal of work for the victims of this crime. They're housing people, feeding people, providing necessities such as lotions, shower supplies, all of the things that it takes just to live and to start over. They're providing counseling services. So with this eye care campaign, we at Prime, I told you last week, it's a part of our culture to be givers, right? Right. We're givers at Prime. I promise you, when you give, you're living, guys. I've done this my whole life. I've been a cause-driven person. This is a great cause to help other people who are in crisis situation. So all day you can check with Brooke over at the Plaza building. She sits right behind a driver lineup in the logs department. Amy is over here. She was already working the crowd when we got here. You see this bucket full of money? Listen, she'll be here at the Millennial building, and we've got Andrea over at the Campus Inn all day. We are going to be collecting your kind donations, and I'm really asking you to step up and give, guys. Is there anything you want to
Yeah, I think it's just important to point out that it's not just you're wearing a button. You're showing support to somebody that maybe doesn't feel comfortable sharing their story and what they're going through. So, you know, even just passing out a few buttons this morning, I've heard some people's stories and friends and stuff that maybe they're not going through it specifically, but their friends are going through it. Check out their website. Harmony House is an amazing resource. If you don't know how to be a listener in these kind of situations, they'll guide you through it. And there's a safety plan in place. All you got to do is click on the little safety plan they've got for you. You know, and it's such a helpful resource. And you guys, it's not just money going to this organization to support this organization. People leave with nothing in their pockets. You know, they need shampoo, they need deodorant, they need clothes. I mean, they can leave everything in these situations. Yeah.
I've been there. At the time that I ended up in a facility in California under the same circumstances, me and my 4 children had nothing. We walked into this home. They provided everything, food, clothing, shelter, everything that we needed, counseling services in the same way that Harmony House does. If you'll pay attention and go back to the Facebook post of today's safety meeting, I put links in there for you to order some of the gear if you're interested in supporting it that way. Those fundraising efforts will also go towards Harmony House. I've also posted our Prime link, where we are specifically raising a certain amount of money. If you don't want to buy the gear and you just want to donate without getting a button or an eye patch, you can do it that way as well. Is there anything you ladies want to say? Because you're standing over here looking shy. Anything you want to add to that?
There is a QR code for those of us that don't have cash on hand. So guess what? I'll be hitting you up.
Okay, and also, Amy, you're going to be going around taking pictures. Are you doing that?
Absolutely. I will be taking pictures.
What are we capturing?
Just anybody wearing their button, anybody wearing their shirts, anybody showing support. That would be awesome because, again, people don't know how to reach out. You know, they're staying silent. And by showing that we care, hopefully they'll reach out to somebody.
Well, I think that's outstanding. And I hope that you guys are all on board because this is huge. I can't tell you what it was like. I keep going back to my own story because that's what I have to share. I remember as a child, we're running away from my mother's abuser. And I remember the trauma behind that. There are children right now at Harmony House who are traumatized because somebody in their life was abusing their parent or them. We also have teenagers over there at Harmony House who are victims of domestic violence. And this is really huge. So I'm hoping that you guys will find it in your heart today to just give something. We're not asking for any specific amount. We just want you to be kind in your giving. Are you guys on board?
Yep.
How about it over there in Salt Lake and Pittston? Are you on board? I'm going to take that as a yes. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. We'll be looking forward to your kind donations as we're walking through the terminal today.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. You know, Dee Silva is an awesome addition to our Prime team. She's been here for a while. You know, we've got some pretty awesome people that are doing, you know, work outside of the building, you know, and being recognized for their accomplishments. One of them is going to come on up. I'm going to ask Mitch to come up and introduce our next guest and talk about some of the new and interesting and award-winning things that our next guest is doing. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, my name is Mitchell Coiner, so I help out on the marketing side of things. And one of my favorite parts of the job really is the awards side, whether that's company awards or individual driver awards, because I get to meet so many awesome, deserving people. And that's, really the case here. We have so many deserving drivers that deserve to be recognized for the hard work, sacrifices that you make. So first of all, thank you to everybody for everything that you do. This award particularly is special because it has to do with military service. So last year we had James Rose, who was a finalist for the Transition Trucking Award. What that is it's an award that takes military veterans who have transitioned into the trucking industry within the last year and recognizes them. So things that they look at is they look at military experience, they look at safety record after transitioning into the trucking industry. They look at just a ton of different things about your character, community involvement, different things like that. So this year, for the second year in a row, we have a finalist in the Transition Trucking Award. His name is Mike Thomas. Mike, if you wouldn't mind coming up here. And I promise they'd much rather hear from you. So would you tell us a little bit about, yourself, maybe your military experience?
So my name is Mike Thomas. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Spent 19 years in the Marine Corps as an aviation ordnance chief. Retired early. After that, I spent another 5 years government contracting and flying reconnaissance over Afghanistan. And once they closed Afghanistan down, all the money went away. I looked for something else to do, and I found myself here at Prime.
Awesome. Well, I think I can speak for everybody when I say thank you for your service, first of all. So what brought you to Prime after you got out of the military?
So, funny story, you mentioned James Rose. He was my ordnance YC. I checked into Japan in 2008, and he was there. I served with him for a year and a half. Left Japan, went to Beaufort, South Carolina, was there for 2 months, went to Iraq. And who's in Iraq? James Rose. So he was there, I served with him there. And then, like I said, once I finished flying recon over Afghanistan, I was searching Facebook, and he was up for the same award I'm up for right now. I hit him up. It's like 02 in the morning, and then maybe 10 or 15 minutes after I hit him up, he called me back and was telling me all the good stuff he's doing at Prime, and that really right there helped me make my decision to come to Prime.
That's awesome. Mike, can I shake your hand?
Yes, sir.
And tell you congratulations on even being a finalist, and James, he's not stalking you, hopefully, it seems like, each transitional step that you're making too.
He's an awesome leader.
All right. And it's my understanding that he was your trainer here at Prime too, right?
Yes, sir, he was.
All right. So we've got this is a safety meeting, and we've got some folks out here that are going through the same situation that you went through, not necessarily transitioning from the military, but transitioning to a non-trucker life to a trucker life, and kind of real quick talk about some of the challenges and the opportunities and the triumphs that you had in that situation. Even if you want to mention some winter weather, that'd be cool too.
Speaking of winter weather, one of the things when I was training in TNT that really had the pucker factor up, doing about 20 miles an hour. It was it finished raining and the road was iced over. I applied the brakes lightly, come around the corner, I seen a truck, applied the brakes lightly, and you start to see Prime in my rearview mirror. That scared the crap out of me. Released the brakes, trailer straightened up. I made my way up to the shoulder so I could slow down, park for the rest of the evening. That was one of the scariest moments in trucking, and some of us will or have experience or will experience, but take your time, slow down. And like they said, if you don't have to drive, don't drive at all.
Awesome. So, I know you're a finalist, so when do we know if we're going to be a winner?
Yeah, it's a good question. So today actually is the start of the public voting part of the award. So we need everybody's help. Mike needs everybody's help to help him not only be a finalist, but to be the winner of the new Kenworth T680 and some cash, I believe, to go along with it. But so
I don't know about that.
So we'll share the link on the app social media, email, any way you can possibly receive a link. You're probably going to receive it from us. You can vote every day from now until the award is announced in December. So please help Mike out. Vote as many times as you possibly can. If you have multiple different devices, they don't know if it's just you or 100 different people. However many devices you have, do that on every device every day. Let's help Mike win this truck. And I mean, I think as all you can tell, he is very deserving. So,
Mike, we think you can do it. Let's give him a round of applause. One more thing, Mike. See, I'm wearing red. Mitch is wearing red. Dave's wearing red. On Fridays we try to wear red because we remember everyone deployed. It's an acronym, RED, for folks that were deployed just like Mike. So what we're going to do right now is ask all of our veterans that are here in the room that served in uniform defending our country, please stand and allow us to properly thank you for your service. Hey, Mike, thanks for being here. Thanks for being up here. Good luck to you. I think we're going to bring home a winner.
Mike even got some red on too, right there, man.
There you go.
Right.
He was ready.
That's
He
right.
was ready. Hey,
That's right.
we all the driver advisory board guys, we caught them off guard and brought them up, didn't we? So we're going to catch an in-house person off guard too and bring them up. I'm going to tell Kevin Bergman, director of our maintenance, come on up here. I see you. Hiding over there in the corner. Hiding over there in the corner. Now, I know sometimes these people act like they don't like the microphone, but he's one of these folks that gets the microphone and then doesn't want to give it up. So we're on a time crunch here, okay? So I know you've got some new personnel over there. I want you to take just a few minutes, few minutes to introduce your new guy and tell about the transition. Just a few minutes.
1 minute.
There you go.
30 seconds. So hi, Kevin Bergman, Director of Fleet Maintenance. I run our shops here at Prime and excited to make some changes in our roles. We've moved some people around and he's going to be coming up here in a second, but we made some changes in our road assist department and put some new leadership in there to really come in and look at how we can make things better for you. We understand that road assist is a customer service department. That's what it's about. It's about you getting you back out on the road faster, quicker, easier, and cheaper, right? And that's what our goal is. So with that timetable I've been given, new road assist manager, Doug Tam, is going to speak about, I think, some winter driving equipment stuff. I don't know what he's going to talk about, actually. So it's all yours.
Way to nail it there. They put me up here after D-Sova and, all these great speakers. That's okay. I think Dennis and Dave, they just try to pick on me. But, yeah, I'm the new road assist manager. And, the question might be, what can the road assist manager do for me? When do I need to call him? When do I need to, get everybody stirred up? I want you to call me whenever you feel like, we didn't communicate with you quick enough. Maybe you're broken down on the side of the road, and you don't feel like you got a timely enough messages back, or maybe we didn't call you soon enough. Because I don't want any one of you guys or gals broken down on the side of the road and feel like we're not helping you immediately, right? That's an emergency situation, and we need to respond, like it is an emergency. So. That's a big one. Give me a holler. I'll have some good questions for the DAB drivers. Come Monday. About how our phone system works. Sometimes our calls can immediately roll over if our advisor is not available. We can set up different announcements where maybe you sit on hold for a minute and a half and listen to one of us. Give you some good winter tips and stuff before we transfer you to the rollover line. So I want to talk about some of that stuff and how that phone system works. But just mostly, thank you for what you all do. You're all family. I'm excited to be able to help you on another level. I've been in the tire and plaza departments and got to see a lot of your faces, get to know you a little bit better. And I'm just excited to be able to help you guys out. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Kevin, for letting me pick on you a little bit.
Yeah, so it's filling some big shoes, no doubt. Justin's moving over to the shop.
point where I tell you, if I were doing my best Steve Lucky impersonation, I'd set my cell phone down here on the table and I'd tell you, hey, if there's a customer that's calling, make sure you answer. We want to drive those rates up as high as we possibly can. All right. You know, Steve Lucky is our vice president of sales and marketing. He's kind of our front man, going to every single customer that we have, making sure that he's fighting for you guys, you know, and he'll tell you that, you know, he's never picked up or delivered a load on time. It's you that do the work, and it's you who are our best sales coordinators. It's you that are on site with our customers every single day. It's you that are giving us the quality feedback that we need to make sure that relationship between customer and prime and driver is A1. So we appreciate what you do. And I'm going to introduce our final speaker. He's a guy that started this place a few years ago now. I know I'm impersonating Lucky, but please don't tell me that I won't make it to my next year, because that'll make me real nervous. This is Robert Lowe, our CEO and founder of this company. Let's give him a round of applause, folks.
Dennis, I tell you what, Wookie better be careful. You know, I think you got him. I think you did a great job, man. Yeah. You know, he's kind of aging out on us anyway. So, you know, bringing up, he'd resent me saying that. He's probably watching. He knows we love him. He's the best sales guy in the United States as far as transportation goes, in my opinion. And I think, you know, if you've been around here any length of time, you know, we have a great customer list. And they're not perfect. You know, there's some things we're working on here and there. We were up to see Unilever this week up in Jersey, and they got a lot of freight, and they're interested. I'll just spend a couple of minutes. You know, they're interested in, you know, kind of different things. You know, a lot of our customers are on this sustainability thing, and whether talking about fuel, speed, fuel consumption, reducing our carbon footprint. These folks are all over that, and they're serious about it. So, you know, we've got to be able to demonstrate to them, if we intend to haul their freight and get those good rates, they're only gonna pay that to truckers that comply with their corporate goals and objectives and the challenges that they have. So, safety. Unfortunately, we had 4 rollovers on their loads. You know, I think it was a basic flaw in our system, because we were routing down Highway 22 coming out of the Ben and Jerry's plant up there. And, you know, it's no shoulders, narrow, and we dropped off and we rolled, and they're very concerned about this. And if we don't correct it, you know, I think they're going to make changes. You know, they're serious about these things. And sustainability, you know, what we're doing to reduce fuel consumption, reduce our carbon footprint. You know, we do a lot of things. Y'all know about EcoShred. I mean, everyone thinks it's cool. We take our old tires. I mean, old tires are horrible. You know, they fill up landfills in a hurry, right? I mean, tires and landfills. Well, you know, we've changed that. We've taken the initiative and put in these, you know, what they call these chewers. So you put the tire in there and it shreds it up, and, you know, gets the steel cords out of there. And then we make mulch and other products, you know, right over here at Prime East. Sometimes if you haven't seen it, go in there and take a look. It's pretty impressive. So we're taking this product that otherwise is filling up these landfills and going to be in there for the next million years, and we're turning them into useful products. And that's just one of our many initiatives that we have as far as sustainability and improving the air quality. And, you know, we're all about that. Safety is our highest calling, obviously. Customer service, we do want to be on time, and for the most part, we are. When we're not, it's usually, I mean, traffic congestion is bad out there, or weather. We've talked about the weather. And I'll just go along with, you know, what's been said. You know, if you don't feel safe out there, our customers support us. I support you. Our operations folks support you. Don't risk it. It just ain't worth it. pull it over, find a safe spot, just chill. I mean, that weather's going to change. Eventually, those roads are going to dry out and we're going to be able to go on safely. And that's what we want you to do. And it doesn't matter how much that receiver may be screaming at our operations folks to get that load in there. We're going to support you. You have my promise. We're going to support you. Folks, I see, a lot of new folks in here. Thank you for making the decision to come to Prime. We have some great folks. We have some great drivers here. You met several of them. These DAB members, they're jam up. D. Silva, Michael, these are special folks. And you have them to look to for guidance and leadership here at Prime. And, they're very open to helping you any way they can, I'm sure. So again, I'll welcome you and I'll thank you for what you do. God bless each of you. Be safe out there.